Good evening. Welcome to Check In with SJ. I'm SJ, and I'm glad you're here. So, this afternoon, I just about had to force myself out of the house to go run some errands. I've decided I like hibernating in cold weather. I don't blame the bears and all the other critters who curl up. Of course, the bears do have to get up and eat some during their hibernation. So I did go out, ran to the library, a couple of other little stops along the way, and it was so nice to get back to my nice, warm home. Nice, relaxed. I like that. Makes me feel good. I got to catch up with some friends today. That was nice. I enjoy whether it's chatting on Facebook, texting, talking on the phone. I do enjoy catching up with friends, finding out how their days went. I'd like to hear how your day's gone today. What have you been up today? In the comments below, tell me, what has been the highlight of your Thursday or of this day, whichever day of the week you're seeing this? I was looking for a new book series to read. I had seen on a post the other day that there were a list of books set in North Carolina, which is my home state. And so I went and ordered one, the first one of a set. It's an author named Donna Ball, Ball, and she has a series about dog detectives. I look forward to reading the first one. I really enjoy reading a series of books, that continuation, that one leads to another. There are times when I will get so into a series of books that when I get to the last one, I kind of grieve. I do. It's like, oh no, they need to write more. Oh, Lordy. There were a few things I didn't get to do on my list, but I tend to make a to-do list longer than is reasonable. Do you ever do that? Do you go to make your list for the day and just go, oh, I can do this. Oh, I should do that. Oh, you know what? I could just go and do this too. And by the time I get done, it's actually a week's worth or at least several days worth. I don't know if I'm overestimating myself or poor plan of time or just hopeful. We'll go with being hopeful that I'll get it all done because there are days when I'm able to check things off my list. I like checking things off the list. Do you like that? Do you like list? I like list. I really like remembering to bring the list with me when I go out so I can, check off things. Sometimes if I do something additional that's not on my list, I'll write that in on the list so I can go back and check it off too. It's just one of those little things in life. Yeah. I caught a headline surfing the internet today that said, what happens to your body when you laugh? That sounds interesting because I do enjoy laughing. There are times when I have to look a little harder for something to laugh at, but I'm pretty good at least finding a smile in things, even if it's the irony of a situation. But I read that article. Laughter oxygenates our body and our organs. We breathe deeper, and so we get more oxygen flowing to every cell. Well, that's good for us. It also releases the stress hormone cortisol. A little bit of cortisol is good for motivation, but a lot of cortisol, that can kind of drag the body down and affect the immune system. If we can develop a habit of finding something to laugh about, finding humor in situations, it's supposed to be good for our health, improve our immunity. I remember reading years and years ago that if I'm feeling down, I should make my mouth smile. That even if I'm not feeling the smile, the contraction of the muscles that it takes to smile will send a message to the brain. Oh, our body is smiling. We must be in a pleasant situation, that it can really affect our mood. I've tried that with varying amounts of success. Have you ever given it a try? And it's not to make light of something, like serious situations. I'm not saying, oh, well, just laugh about it anyway. There's times when you just can't pull that out of your hat. And that's okay. All emotions are okay. It's some people have trouble expressing emotions. That gives them the problem. But, you feel what you feel. Recognize it, admit it, and then see how you can move forward. But I have heard that it is good to laugh. It is good to make yourself laugh. And again, not making light, but watch silly sitcoms, read jokes, listen to jokes, listen to silly songs, anything that can make you laugh. Reading silly books, making silly voices. Whatever you can do to laugh is good. Now, I tell you what I love and I don't have enough of. I hope you do. Have you ever laughed to the point that you couldn't talk? You couldn't breathe? You snort? Do you snort? Are you a snort laugher? That yeah, people crack me up doing that. People do have different laughs that are funny sounding. But that is something to think in mind if you're feeling down sometime, to see what happens if you make your face smile. And not making laughter, and this is important. We don't do laughter to make fun of people. We don't use laughter to put people down. We never do that. That is not good in any way. No, it'll laugh for amusement, but not at people. You know what they say, you laugh with your friends, not at your friends. I've done both, but usually they've been laughing also, or I wouldn't have wanted to do that. Yeah. So laughing cuts the cortisol, the stress hormone. It's also supposed to build up the good endorphins that make our brain feel better, make our body feel better, make us rest better, digesting better, just supposed to be better. In the old days, the days of the Puritans, public laughter wasn't allowed. It was considered non-Christian. Yet joy is supposed to be Christian. In Buddhism, laughter is good. Laughter is a good thing. It means we're not overwhelmed or overthinking on some other thing. It is a moment of acceptance. So there's different viewpoints about that, but personally, I like laughter. I think the world could use more healthy, happy laughter. Laughing with friends, laughing with strangers sometimes if something funny happens in a store, in a public place. Going to a comedian's performance, an entire room of people laughing together. Do you remember the movie Monsters, Inc., the animated movie? Oh, I love that. It had the big purple, another monster, and the little one-eyed guy. And they started out creating energy by scaring children, coming out of their closet in the night and making them scream and harnessing the energy from it. Well, then somehow they found out they could harness more power from making children laugh. That suddenly they just had reserves of canned laughter. Because when the children would laugh, it would fill up these big tanks just full of energy. I think there's something to that. I do. What's the last thing you've laughed at? What's the last time you remember just really cutting loose with a good laughter? Something fun to think about. something fun to plan for tomorrow and tonight. Sometimes the memories of times like that are good too, aren't they? Doesn't matter if it's a recent memory, an old memory, it's good. Now, I want to remind you too that here at Check In with SJ, this is a place where I want to remind you daily of your importance. It is important that you're here. The world needs you here. You were created because there is something about the light you give off, about your energy, about your gifts that you may or may not be aware of that the earth needs. Also, I want to remind you every day that the same creator that created every cell in the universe created you, and your creator loves you dearly. You are important. You are loved. And I hope you give yourself a big hug and do something good for you. Do something just to treat yourself. Something healthy, not like going out and having to walk a mile, but just anything that will make you feel good. Maybe something that'll make you laugh. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow. I will catch back up with you either Saturday or Sunday. Tomorrow's a work day. I don't know if I will be able to post before I get to work, but you're still just as important and just as loved tomorrow, too. Remember that. Take care now. Night night.